how to manifest your wildest dreams while sleeping and reprogram your subconscious mind. You heard that actually before you go to bed, you can start to program your subconscious mind, which controls 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions that you have and creates all the results in your life. You can start to program that and brainwash that the way that you want to create your dream life before you fall asleep. Sounds nice and too good to be true, but it isn't. And that's the way our psychology works. So this is Jake Ducey from JakeDucey.com, and I want to teach you how to manifest while you sleeping, man. Number one, clear your mind and create the images of what you want before you're going to bed. Now you can do this when you're meditating before, or when you're sitting on the couch hanging out. I like to do it just before I'm going to bed, while I'm lying down in bed. I'm getting close to the sleep state, because what happens when you get close to sleep state is that your conscious mind starts to actually disappear, right? So you enter the subconscious mind territory. So your conscious mind is a logical, rational mind that is there on a day-to-day basis, but it only controls 5% of your life according to psychologists, whereas your subconscious mind controls approximately 95% of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's the seat of everything that's creating itself in your life, in my life. And when, let's say, somebody says, I want to make more money, and they tell you it consciously. Here's what I want to do, here's what I want, but then subconsciously they're programmed negatively around money. Maybe their parents divorced around money. Maybe their dad always yelled about how the government steals all of their money and rich people are bad and da-da-da-da-da. And they're programmed negatively around money. So what is actually happening is that your conscious mind that's saying, I want more money, as you're getting more tired, your ego, your conscious mind is starting to dissipate, and you're entering more of a subconscious state. Your brain waves are starting to change to more of a passive, to more a hypnotic state. Well, that's a state where you can actually start to reprogram the subconscious mind away from the negatives that, we'll call that guy Billy. Billy's the guy and his parents got divorced over money. His dad always said the government's bad, da-da-da-da. So Billy can start to reprogram his subconscious mind very much easier than in ordinary waking hours just before sleep, because the conscious mind is disappearing. So that's why I say you got to be able to clear your mind, right? So whether that's breath work, whether that's meditation, whether that's journaling, whether that's being with your loved one, whether it's going on a walk, run, whatever you got to do, stretch, whatever, shower, anything that gets you out of that state and it starts to relax you and to put you into more of a receptive and what you would call a hypnotic state, is where you can actually start to enter and reprogram the subconscious mind. So when you clear your mind, then the question is, what are you trying to manifest? And your mind works in images. So when I say, think of your refrigerator, you don't spell your refrigerator out in your mind. W-H-I-T, white refrigerator. You see the image of your white refrigerator. When I say, let's pretend you have a red Corvette convertible, blacktop convertible with a tan leather. And I was like, think of your car. You don't spell that out. You're not like R-E-D, red hood. It's image. It flashes on the screen of your mind right away, on the screen of your mind. Well, the screen of your mind is images, right? So your mind works in pictures. Every picture you have an emotional and energetic, a vibrational resonance with it that creates your emotions, it creates your energy, it creates your vibration, it creates your point of attraction that you're using, the law of attraction, that you're using your mind from in your life. And so the question is, what do you want? Because what happens is most people's images in their mind are negative. They have a very negative self-image. They think they're too fat, they're too skinny, they're too old, they're not tall enough, their teeth aren't wide enough, their stomach isn't good enough, their skin color is too dark or too light, right? And they have these images and they see themselves in this way. And I always use the example of like the 15 or 16-year-old girl, freshman in high school. She's super pretty, right? And she looks at herself in the mirror every day and she says to herself, God, she grabs her belly, and she's like, I have a pimple right there. She doesn't even see that she's gorgeous and that she's so beautiful. All she sees is this fake image of herself. So your mind works in images, whether it's real or not real. In this instant, for the young woman, it wasn't even a real image. It was a made-up negative image. She started believing it, so she couldn't even see reality, because the fact is, you don't see with your eyes, actually. You see with image reflectors in the back of your brain that are sending signals based off of the electrical input outside of you that are activating cells of recognition recognition that are flashing images, activating cells of recognition in your brain. So it's sparking an electrical impulse that's stimulating an image that'll pop up unconsciously or consciously on the screen of your mind, right? And so an example of that is the young woman is beautiful, but she doesn't even see that. Why? Because you don't see with your eyes, you see with cells of recognition based off of the images that are programmed into your mind. Her image is too fat, for instance, right? So what's important to keep in mind is clearing our mind, taking our breaths, and starting to imagine. And somebody will say, well, I don't have a good imagination. Well, you have a perfect imagination. You actually just haven't used it. That's something Bob Proctor always says. Hey, you have a perfect imagination. You have a perfect memory. It's just that you haven't actually used it. You haven't. It's the same thing as when you don't use your left muscle, but you use your right muscle. Your left one's not going to be very strong. You still have the capability for a strong left muscle. You just don't use it, right? So the question is, what's the image that you're wanting to manifest? Is it more money? Is it a soulmate? Is it your dream house? Is it a place you want to live? Is it your dream career? Is it your nonprofit that's going to feed the homeless? What is it that you want, that you imagine for yourself or your loved ones or your life? What is it that you're wanting to manifest while you're sleeping, while you're awake, and for the rest of your life, right? And when you do that, then you start to imagine it and you start to step into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You start to step into that state. And there's been studies that they actually did where they took Olympic athletes and modeled the Apollo program, because the astronauts were using visualization like this to simulate actually being out in space and doing their launch and landing on the moon and stuff like that. And when they took Olympic athletes and they actually hooked them up to sophisticated machines that would like measure their heartbeat and their muscle pulses and stimulations and things like that, when they would imagine their race or their heat or whatever they were competing in, when they would imagine it fully, they would actually have the same muscles twitching and firing and to elevate to the same level of heartbeat. So they would actually have a physiological response to the image. So that's why your mind works in images. So if you want to reprogram your subconscious mind before you fall asleep and enter that into sleep and wake up in that energy, it's important to note that your mind works in images and you have the free will to focus on whatever images you want to create. You can hold any image you want regardless of the reality. Steve Jobs, for him, it was called his reality distortion field. He'd focus on the images that he want. Everyone at Apple would be like, that's not possible. And he would say, no, that's not the way it works. I already see this image in my mind. It's already done. He says, in fact, that the world was built by people no smarter than you. When you mold it, shape it, you can change it however you want when you realize that the world's built by people that aren't smarter than you. So the question is, what is your image? Start to get emotionally involved in that. Start to sit in that. Start to see it every single night and start to carry that energy into sleep, into the morning, and you're starting to reprogram your subconscious mind in a different way, in the same way that the little girl who looked beautiful, but she had programmed her subconscious mind that she was ugly, she saw that and lived that reality. It wasn't really even true to everybody else. Well, when you start to focus on the images that you want to manifest in your life, you'll slowly start to see opportunities that weren't there before, action steps and circumstances that will be the bridge to the next level of whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. But first, you have to start to give emotional credence. You have to start focusing on the images of what you want to program your subconscious mind in that respect. And that's the first step to start to manifest while you're sleeping and while you're awake. Number 2, practice gratitude for the wish already fulfilled, right? Because think about it. Every thought has a chemical reaction that creates an electrical impulse, an emotion, an energetic state in your body and your nervous system. Every thought that you have, that's what the thought creates. Whether it's true or not true, right? The little girl, it's not even a true story, but she's already assumed that reality that she's not good enough and not this enough and not that enough, right? But the same thing happens when we think there's a robber in our house, right? Have you ever had that happen to you? You don't have to admit it to anyone except for me. I know I have, right? Thinking there's a robber in the house and you're all scared and your hands are sweaty and your heart is beating and you're gonna call the police at this very second because you're freaking out. But it's not even true. The monster isn't even there. The robber isn't even there. You know, there's not this actual threat, but you're having a physiological reaction to a thought that you've focused on long enough that your subconscious mind and your nervous system and your brain think it's true, and it creates it, and you take the appropriate actions that you live out the reality as if it was true. People do that. They think their spouse is cheating on them, the economy is gonna fail, their boss is gonna fire them, and they do it with a lot of other things like not being good enough, smart enough, not having enough money, and they live out this imaginary boogeyman, this imaginary threat, this imaginary monster that isn't even true, but they live out this reality that controls and limits them for their whole lives. If you could do that, which you do, which I do, which all of us do every single day, we use this type of negative affirmation to create what we don't want in our lives. If you could do that, couldn't you also give thanks for your dream already being realized, even though it hasn't happened yet? You could do that, right? What happens, right? Let's follow the process of creation. Thought creates a chemical reaction, which creates a feeling, which creates a vibration that I'm in, which creates what I attract into my life, and the action that I do or do not take that controls my destiny. That's what's happening. So when I start to focus on feeling appreciative for already being who I want to be and already having what I want to have and experiencing and manifesting what I want to manifest before it happens, I become that person that lives in a total state of certainty. It's already here, it's already arrived. I know, I may not just see it with my eyes yet, but it's basically here already. It'll be here any moment. That's the energy of the people that create amazing things. Most people say, I hope, I wish, I don't see it yet. I don't see it with my eyes. This law of attraction thing sounds nice. I'm doing my affirmations. I watch this stupid guy's videos every day, but we're not seeing any results. Why? Because when you start to give thanks for something that you're wanting to manifest as if it's already happened, you change your physiological state, your subconscious mind starts to believe it's already happened, and it starts to manifest it. The same way that it digests your food and it beats your heart while you're asleep, you don't consciously have to say, hey, subconscious mind, I just want to remind you, make sure you beat my heart tonight. I don't want to die, okay? I really like my life. I don't want to die, okay? Please breathe, please, okay, fine, right? You don't have to tell it what to do. You don't have to give it commands. It just accepts. It has a natural way of manifesting things. Well, the same is so. As soon as you can start to give I can give appreciation, and I was giving appreciation for my YouTube channel blowing up before last month when we grew by 35,000 subscribers, and I had 2 videos that both got about 400,000 or 500,000 views. I was like, any second, this thing is about to blow up. I already know it. And I would say that all the time. I already know it. I'm so grateful that my channel is just blowing up and inspiring millions of people, and it feels so awesome that I'm able to deliver my message. That's how I talk. And the result was last month my channel blew up. And so what I invite you to do is before bed, with your lover, with your friend, with your spouse, with your journal, start to give as much thanks as you can for your wishes, the things that you want to manifest already true, so you bring that energy into the subconscious state where it can be reprogrammed and your reality and your destiny can be rewritten just before you go to bed, and you can wake up in that energetic state too. Step number 3, create an affirmation based off what you want to manifest, and start to tell yourself that hundreds of times over the span of 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, right? Psychologists tell us we have 65,000 thoughts in a day. So we're having so many conscious and unconscious thoughts over the course of a 5 or 10 minute span. So before you go to bed, start to use that to start to affirm something. Let's say, for instance, that you wanted to create more prosperity in your life. You could affirm with your eyes closed, lying in your bed with a slight smile on your face, getting emotionally involved in the idea of, I'm so happy and thankful that large sums of money are coming to me easily and quickly, right? Or if you think that you don't have good luck, right, and you can't go out for your dreams because you don't have good luck, I'm so happy and thankful that I'm a magnet to great opportunities that realize all my dreams. Right? Whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest in your life, pick a very short hypnosis like that. That's what I did. I was trying to build my career. It wasn't really working yet. I was like kind of starting to build traction, but I wasn't even making enough money to be able to do this full time. And what I did is I created a financial hypnosis for my life and my business, and I recorded it. And this was like 4 years ago. And I started listening to it every single night, every single morning before I go to sleep, to start to program my subconscious mind. It was just just habit. I wasn't even considering, does this work yet? I was like, I'm committing to this for the next year, and I'm gonna see amazing results, right? And so what happened was everything blew up. My life blew up. I got signed by Penguin Random House. I went on Vans Warped Tour, the largest music tour in America, as their first motivational speaker. I got all these book contracts. Things just started picking up because I started to drop out of my old stories and reprogram my subconscious mind. And so if you want that, it's just jakeshypnosis.com. I link it right down there below. It's free. You can listen to it immediately. And it's like an easy trick or tool that you can use, especially if you have difficulty creating your own affirmations, or if you want to listen to it and you want to pull your favorite sentence out of it and make that your favorite affirmation. The point being is that at every single moment, we're negatively or positively, consciously or unconsciously, using affirmations to create what we want or don't want in our life. And don't want is a very important emphasis because most people use negative hypnosis, right? Like I'm saying, I've got this free success hypnosis. Tens of thousands of people have used it. I've had great success with it. When we program your subconscious mind in that way, you get amazing results. Well, the same is so, like I've got this positive hypnosis thing. A lot of people have a negative hypnosis. It's not recorded and they don't plug in their headphones into their iPhone and start to listen to it, but it's playing on the tape recorder of their subconscious mind in their brain at all times, saying, you are an idiot. You know, ever since 3rd grade, you've been an idiot. And your mom was stupid, or you weren't as smart as your dad, and your brother and them were better than you. And remember in 4th grade, do you remember in 4th grade when everyone laughed at you and they said you were too stupid and fat and your nose was too big and you kind of had a pig nose, and and all these stories start to go on in our head, and you didn't get into the college that you wanted, you got C's. And when you look in the mirror, you're not as smart and as good looking as them. And that's this hypnosis that we brainwash ourselves with these silly stories. And so that's why I created my own hypnosis, because when you really grasp that we're hypnotizing ourselves at all times, that's why it's so important to have an affirmation. So when you're going into bed at night, close your eyes, clear your mind, visualize what it is that you want, and get emotionally involved. And it's not an idle thing. You're getting involved with it. And then start to affirm, either through my hypnosis that you can just download for free and listen to right now. Maybe it's nighttime and you play it, or you just think of what it is, whether it's great opportunities or money or love or happiness, and you affirm, I am love, I am prosperity, I'm attracting great opportunities. And you affirm the same sentence over and over and over like a tape record. Like if I were to start singing like, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb, Mary had, what would happen? You'd get that thing stuck in your head. You might already have it stuck in your head. But what would happen, and what is happening, is subconsciously you're programmed on Mary's had a little lamb, right? It's your subconscious taking information and starting to program that thing and starting to replay it over and over again. So why not do it with the things that we want? So take an affirmation, take a hypnosis, brainwash yourself just before you go to sleep, and you go into a brainwave state where you can receive that information. And when you commit to that for 60 or 90 days, you will feel different. You will act different. You will walk and talk different. You will receive different opportunities. And that's what I'm inviting you to consider, is that you can have the life that you want. You can manifest the things that you want, and you can actually begin to do it while you're sleeping. And I think it's actually one of the best times to do it. It's quiet, you're relaxed, you can access the subconscious mind, and you can start to set a different program to attract the things that you want in your life. This is Jake Ducey with jakeducey.com. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you dig these. There's a little bell notification in the corner, so make sure you hit that, because that's going to alert you when I have more inspiring videos that I hope that you dig as much as I enjoy making them. I got my free success hypnosis down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com. You can download that and start to listen to that. Comment in where in the world you're coming from. I'd love to know. I'm currently making this video in St. George, Utah, but I hail from San Diego, California, the beautiful sunny San Diego, California. I want to know every city and every country or state that you're from, so comment that in. Thank you for watching my videos. It means the world to me. I hope that this inspires you, and I hope that you teach someone else about how to manifest while they're sleeping. So utilize this 3-step formula. First, clear your mind, form the image of what you want in your mind. Second, give thanks for what has already happened. Start to tell yourself that all the time. I'm so thankful that this video is inspiring people from all over the world. And there's going to be 50 countries of people that comment in where they're coming from, and like 30 or 40 different states. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be able to do what I love, and that people are receiving it. Talk to yourself like that. And third, Either make your own hypnosis, listen to my hypnosis, or write down an affirmation that you start to tell yourself every single day, or pull one out of my hypnosis and start to use something like that before you go to sleep every night when you wake up first thing in the morning, giving appreciation for that thing, and you will start to manifest things while you sleep.